Hello friends, have you ever noticed tiny drops of water on grass during a winter morning? These tiny droplets are called dew. But have you ever wondered why dew forms mainly in winter? Why don't we usually see it during summer? Today, with the help of a very simple example, we'll understand what dew point temperature is and how it is connected to the formation of dew. First, let's understand something important. Our atmosphere, especially the lower layer near the Earth's surface, always contains some amount of water vapor. However, the amount of water vapor is not the same everywhere or in every season. Another important fact is, warm air can hold more water vapor. Cold air can hold less water vapor. And this simple fact is the key to understanding dew point temperature. A simple example, imagine that during the afternoon, the air temperature is 35 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the air contains 30 kilograms of water vapor. However, at 35 degrees Celsius, the maximum amount of water vapor the air can hold is 50 kilograms. So, water vapor present equals 30 kilograms. Maximum capacity equals 50 kilograms. This means the air is not saturated yet because it can still hold more water vapor. What happens in the evening? As evening approaches, the temperature drops to 25 degrees Celsius. The amount of water vapor in the air remains the same, still 30 kilograms. But because the temperature has decreased, the air's capacity to hold water vapor also decreases. Now the maximum capacity becomes 40 kilograms. So, water vapor present equals 30 kilograms. Maximum capacity equals 40 kilograms. The air is still not saturated. What happens after midnight? As the night progresses, the temperature falls further to 17 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the air can hold exactly 30 kilograms of water vapor. So now, water vapor present equals 30 kilograms. Maximum capacity equals 30 kilograms. Something very important happens here. The amount of water vapor in the air becomes exactly equal to the maximum amount the air can hold. The air has now become saturated, and the temperature at which this saturation occurs is called the dew point temperature. In our example, 17 degrees Celsius is the dew point temperature. How does dew form? Now imagine the temperature falls even further to 15 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the air can hold only 25 kilograms of water vapor. But the air still contains 30 kilograms of water vapor. So, water vapor present equals 30 kilograms. Maximum capacity equals 25 kilograms. This means the air now contains 5 kilograms of excess water vapor. The air can no longer hold this extra moisture. As a result, the excess water vapor changes into tiny liquid water droplets through a process called condensation. These tiny droplets settle on grass, leaves, cars, rooftops, and other surfaces. And that is what we call dew. Definition of dew point temperature. Dew point temperature is the temperature at which air becomes saturated with water vapor, and any further cooling causes condensation to begin. Why does more dew form in winter? During winter nights, temperatures often drop significantly. As the air cools, it easily reaches its dew point temperature. Once the dew point is reached, condensation begins, producing plenty of dew on surfaces. That is why winter mornings are often covered with sparkling dew droplets. Why is dew rare in summer? During summer, even at night, temperatures usually remain relatively high. In many cases, the temperature does not fall enough to reach the dew point. Since the air never becomes fully saturated, condensation does not occur. As a result, little or no dew forms. The easiest way to remember: warm air can hold more water vapor. As temperature decreases, the air's capacity to hold water vapor also decreases. Eventually, the amount of water vapor becomes equal to the air's holding capacity. This temperature is called the dew point temperature. If the temperature drops further, condensation begins and dew forms. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more interesting and eye-opening videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you again in the next informative video.